Hello everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Biscuit Battles. Yes, and today we are doing the attack of the Caledoni on the 9th Legion in Scotland in AD82. Yes, now, just some background to this punch-up is that in AD 77 or 78, a bloke called Agricola had been appointed governor of Britannia. Yes, I always think when I hear the name Agricola that it is an invention of a cola drink for farmers. See, Agricola. Chloe's just laughing hysterically, that's why I'm not showing her at this moment in time.
That's what I think.
So, by AD 82, the Romans had a high degree of control over Scotland south of the Fourth Clyde Isthmus, which is the sort of narrow bit of Scotland, in case you're wondering. But in AD 82, they went further north because they'd heard of a possible uprising by local haggis leaders under the banner of the awful Avengers. Yes, but instead the Romans ran into a confederacy led by the Caledoni, who today are going to be shown by Bebetos. Right, now, in case you didn't know, when the Romans were on the march, they used marching camps at night, and as you can tell, it doesn't need any explanation, obviously, does it? This is our Roman marching camp, yes, formed with the delicious Kit Kats. Now, a Roman marching fort would have a ditch going all the way around it. The mud from the soil and mud and stuff from the ditch would be used to form the earth rampart, on which there would be timber obstacles and things like that. And then inside you would have a highly organised system of tent lines and things like that, where the Romans would be kipping for that night, snoozling away. And there would be some sentries out, keeping watch out for things. Yes. Now, the Caledoni launched a guerrilla warfare campaign against the Romans at first, and then they opted to try and surround the Roman army and slaughter it. But Agricola had considered this possibility, and he separated his army into 3 sections. Each section was far enough away that it prevented the Caledoni surrounding it, but also close enough that they could support each other. So the Caledoni decided to launch a night attack against the 9th Legion, who today are being represented by party rings. Yes, and the oatmeal and raisin cookies from Tesco are the tents. Thank you. Right, are the tents. So the 9th Legion was snoozling away with some sentries keeping watch, and then the Caledonians piled in. They did. Yes, slaughtering the sentries. See, a dramatic reconstruction there. And the Romans obviously were caught by surprise. They came out of their tents fighting. Now the Caledoni would have been armed with the long sword that you traditionally think with Celts. And the Romans, on the other hand, they would have had their shorter sword, the gladius. So the gladius is smaller, 55 centimeters long, and it's good for stabbing people. And this would be quite important in the next year, during the Battle of Mons Graupius. But in the chaotic night fight, there was no close discipline of the legions. It was just a massive punch-up. Now, the Romans, obviously, they have their iconic spear, the pilum, but this probably wouldn't have been much use in the night fight, and I'm sure it would be more down to their gladius and dagger when they were in the camp. So the gladius is good for stabbing, whereas the long sword the Celts used, they would have been good for slashing. Yes, now, Agricola was not with the 9th Legion, but his scouts had told him what was going to happen and the route that the Caledonians had taken.
They look that way, they go that that way. Okay.
And Agricola ordered his
Go!
fastest units, the cavalry and some of his infantry, to go up in support of in support of the 9th Legion. Now, the 9th Legion was holding its own. Just in fact, the 9th Legion was of the view that it didn't need the help, but it did. And so the Caledoni were struck from the rear by Agricola's supporting troops, because they just landed on top of them like a wrestling move there, right?
Yep.
Yes. So the Caledoni stuck in the middle between the 9th Legion, who are still fighting it out, and Agricola's advancing supporting troops broke. They couldn't take the pressure, which is fair enough, to be fair. And they fought their way out of the camp and disappeared into some nearby forests.